Hello and welcome to another one of our videos. This is our BMW 320i Xdrive. This is the M Sport with the auto 8-speed ZF gearbox, finished in Glacier Silver Metallic. I'm going to run around the car and give you all the spec on the car and also point out any little chips or anything like that on the car. So the whole car's been detailed, machine polished, and it's due to go in for its service next week and a new MOT. So that will all be done after the weekend. So we'll come in and start at the front of the car. We've got the BMW LED lights. We've got front and rear parking sensors. If I just bring you around the front of this car, the bodywork, if I come in close, is exceptionally clean. The car's covered 30,000 miles with full service history. We've put some black gloss grills in the front. We still have the original grills, so we can pass those on to the next owner. All the headlights and the rear lights have all been machine polished as well. You can see just how great those lenses look. I'm going to bring you up onto the top of the car and just have a look over the bonnet. Just dropped my paperwork, so let's pick that up. So if we come along the front here, I'll try and get out so there's no shadow. If you look at the paintwork, it's exceptionally clean. No chips on the front edge or even up here. In fact, we'll move on up onto the roof because this car has the panoramic roof, which is a lovely feature. No bird dropping stains, no tree sap marks. If bird droppings or tree sap gets left on the car, it tends to affect the paintwork quite badly. Just come round, show you the car from the side. So we've got the 442M 19-inch alloy wheels with the M Sport brakes. Just come down. All of the tyres on this car are all around about sort of 6 mil as an average, I'd say, which is very important on the Xdrive. You need to keep the tyre tolerances, the depth, fairly close, probably within a couple of mil of each other or just over. Otherwise, it affects the transfer boxes in time. So if you're looking at replacing tyres, make sure you don't put new tyres at the front or the rear and then have an older tyre on the other side, because it affects the speed of the shafts going into the transfer box. All of the back of the bumper, I just show you, it's not scratched or anything at all. The guys have done a great job on the car as well. Just look at that. It's got the LED lights at the rear as well. I'll pan out in a second. Just going to show you around the filler cap and just inside how nice and clean this car is. Close that. Take a look at this rear wheel. There we go, sorry. And we'll jump straight to the front wheel. All in lovely condition. And if I move back out, so you can see the side of the car. Really lovely condition. Okay, so we'll come round and then take a look inside the car. Just point out also all the wing mirrors. There's no paintwork damage. There's no scratches or anything. The bodywork's in lovely condition. So we have the black Dakota leather inside with the option of the contrasting stitching. This has got the white stitching. The black gloss trim at the top with the brushed aluminium door handle. Bit of reflection on there, but that is the brushed aluminium. We've got the Harman Kardon sound system, which has additional speakers. One being at the top in front of the iDrive. We just look at the seals as well. I have to move slowly because otherwise the camera won't change from the reflection. All of the rubbers are in lovely condition. If we take a look down here, we've got the puddle lights. Just see how clean that is under there. No scratches. All of the Dakota leather. That's just a crease on the number there. And then that white stitching, you also get this piping as well to put a bit of contrast, and then you've got stitching around the headrest. See the pan roof up there, which will open up in a bit. We have the business navigation in this car, heated seats, climate control. We've also got heated steering wheel just under there. So keep your hands warm on a cold day. Let's take a look in the rear of the car. So we'll start with the door card. No marks or scratches on there. Just spotted a tiny little indentation, tiny bit there. That there is just a tiny little scuff, but being very picky here, trying to point out everything, all nice and clean. And if we look, all the seals, the rubbers, no marks from trap seat belts or anything like that. And if we take a look inside, all of the leather is nice. No indentations from child seats, etc. All the back of the seats are nice, all the nets on the back of the seats. And then we'll come round to the rear. I'm going to open the boot with the key. You can close the boot with the key as well. So you'll notice all along here, all in really nice condition. We can pull this, we've got a parcel shelf, and we've got the cargo net there. We've got extended storage in this car, so let me just come back out. These little lugs in the bottom, the little round sections either side. Under here, you have this partitioning piece that goes into those holes to separate things that are in the boot. And you'll also notice that the shelf here can be put inside the car along here. When you've got when you're using this, you can put that away if you need to. And then all up under here, there's a couple of very little scuff bits on the plastics, quite common on this. There's a couple of little bits on the plastic there. It's where things have slid in the boot. So we'll close that down. For those of you that don't know, these have a separate opening for the rear glass. So if you have a dog or something and you want to just give them a bit of breathing space, if you're down the beach or something, I'd highly recommend putting one of those plastic or rubber trays in the back of the car. Let's just come up and show you the back on this side. No damage. I'm pointing out most of these areas because they're areas that you see damaged on some cars, and this one isn't. All along here, all the roof bars, lovely and clean. Let's take a look in this side. So we'll start again with the door card. So no marks on this door card at all. Just having a good scan round for you. You can see the Harman Kardon speakers in the back as well, on both sides. Back of the seat. All of the vanes for the fans in the back are all okay as well. And again, the leather, there's no scratches or anything on the leather. We've got all the mats in the car as well. And no scratches or anything down here. Let's go to the driver's side. Just point out also, you get these little LED lights under the door handles, which are really nice at night, sort of light down the side, and then you've got the puddle lights as well. So I'm going to flip those lights off for a second. So, driver's door card. nothing to speak of. On the handle, just on the edge, very tiny little bit of wear, obviously people's keys or rings, but it's right on the edge, it's not on the face of the trim. All nice along there as well. Again, the Harman Kardon speakers. And then if I can just steady the camera, the leather seats, the bolsters, all the way up. And then we've got cruise control and speed limiter. And on this side, we've got the different modes. In fact, we've got the extended storage just at the front there as well. I'm going to jump in. Let's just move the seat back a fraction. We'll start the car up. Put the lights back on now. So, we've got high beam assist, which is just here. So when that's activated and it's dark enough outside, when you've got your high beam on and you drive towards oncoming cars, the little camera up here will pick up the headlights, or even if you drive into a lit up village, and it will automatically dip the headlights for you. You've got front and rear fog lights here, auto wipers, the sports transmission, which gives you the paddle shift, speed limiter, and then you can adjust the speed with the little rocker in the center here. We turn that off and press the cruise button. There we go. And then you can adjust the cruise. We need to be driving for the cruise to engage. So we'll turn that back off. We'll turn those off as well. And this is where you can flick through your music options with the mode button here. If we come over to this, so this is the business navigation. This is the slightly smaller screen. And you've got all the different features here for multimedia, external devices. The sound is for the Logic 7 surround sound of the Harman Kardon. And then you've got an equalizer in there, which everyone tells me you should set bang in the middle, because that's how it was tuned for the car. However, we just had a customer in who had a friend set his up slightly differently. I haven't tried it yet, but he says it is better, so I've photographed that so we could copy it into a car and try later. Go back to, let's try the so we've got the radio. Obviously we have the DAB stations in there as well. And then if we come down to navigation, we can go onto the map. There are shortcuts down on the iDrive wheel for navigation, radio, media, etc. So we have the navigation and input, which is manual on this one. And then if you want to put the view differently, you can. And again, I'm pretty sure, let's just try it. Okay, so on the business nav you can also set different screens as well as radio channels and telephone numbers. If we want it in direction of travel, I think we can set that on number 7. Yeah, and then if I press number 8 now, you'll see that it'll adjust the view to the perspective view. We've got the heated seats either side, 3 stages of heating, climate control. I've got the brushed aluminium in here, all the books for the car, cup holders and 12-volt socket. There's also a 12-volt socket up under here, so if you wanted to charge a separate device like an iPad, this button here will ring on the parking sensors. They will come on automatically, but you can also put them on manually. I think that's actually picking up on the number plate that we've covered over with our name at the front, because there's not a car there at the second. And then we have the rocker button here, which will adjust Eco Pro for economy driving, a little bit flatter on acceleration, but will give you better economy. Comfort mode will be a more balanced setting, and then you've got the Sport and Sport Plus, which will adjust on this car more of the throttle response and power, and whether you have some of the traction control turned off as well. So I'm just going to check on my list. So we've got the extended, we've got the M Sport brakes, we mentioned that, parking distance. We've also got sliding armrest. So the armrest down here is sliding, that's another option. We've got a USB and an auxiliary in there, all lovely and clean. No wear down there either. Just come up, I'll just show you around. And then with the roof, if we press it, it will, I'll just do that again actually. Oh, we've got electric blind as well. So you can close over the blind, like so. And it's left the gap because we've actually got the roof tilted up. I've now just tilted the roof down and it will close fully. Or we can slide the whole roof back. I think we have to wait for the blind. I think there are 2 stages at which the roof goes back. So there's one touch, I've taken my hand away. And then if I press it again, it just goes back that little bit further. So then you've got a nice big sunroof up there. We'll leave that open actually. So I think I've covered everything in the car. So let's take a look outside under the bonnet. Oh, one thing we didn't look at. Now in here, under the service items, if I go in here, we've actually, this doesn't hold the services on the Xdrive. So my BMW specialist has printed out the service that was done by BMW, and it was a full service. It had a big service. It had oil filter, fuel filter, and that was all done at 18,000 miles. And you'll notice that all this has been reset. So it's got plenty of time remaining on there. The rear brake pads, 37,000 miles. Front pads, 50,000 miles. We just checked the date of this engine oil actually. So yeah, that's got another year, just over a year remaining, and 14,000 miles. Just check that brake fluid. Yeah, this was all done on that service that it had at 18,000 miles. So that's all done. And then we've got all our settings down here as well. You can change on the car, the climate, the lights, the height of the tailgate. So when if you have a garage, you can adjust how high the boot will open so it doesn't crash onto your garage door if you've got an up and over door or anything that's in the garage. So we'll leave it on maximum for now. Profiles, software updates, etc. Right, let's take a look under the bonnet. Just while we're outside the car, just show you all the runners up here. This is all cleaned to make sure it's all nice and clean. I've obviously not pulled it twice, so let's pull it a second time. If you look down here, you press twice, or pull twice I should say, to open the bonnet. And now it opens. So all under the bonnet is all cleaned by hand. All leaves are hoovered out from these areas. You don't want to put a jet wash in there because you'll turn it to mush, and then that mush will just block the water drainage holes, etc. So it's a good idea to pull the leaves out or hoover them out. You'll notice it's all clean inside there as well. We take off all the little bits of wax that gets left on the engines. So it's a twin power turbo, so it's got a dual port, so 2 entry points on the turbo I believe, to give a much better response on the turbo so you get less lag. Ticking over really nicely there. All up around the top, this is all cleaned by hand as well. All lovely and clean under here. Let's just pop that down. Also, when you pop your bonnets down, never put them down gently and then push on the bonnet, because you'll dent them. If you bring them down to your waist and then drop them with a bit of a slam, they've got two fixing points, one this side and one the other, and it will just shut evenly. You sometimes see dents on the bonnets of cars where people have pushed down on their bonnet, and sometimes they push too hard. Just bring you up onto the top one more time. So this will make a really great car for the family, or just for someone on their own, I guess. But a lovely looking car, got a lovely shine. It's going to have its new MOT. We do various different warranties. The car comes with a warranty as well, but you can extend that. We have various finance options. We have an APR at 6.9%. Obviously that's all subject to your status. Just take you around the car one more time. So if you have any questions or I've missed something, we do upload all the spec onto the advert. I'm going to try my best to get the pictures done today, but we're having quite a busy day. We've had 3 cars go out today. It's Saturday today. We've got another gentleman coming in, so if I run out of time, the pictures might not go up till next week. These should be on this weekend. I shall do these tonight. Let's just get that back in focus. As you can see, all running nicely. So thank you for taking the time to go through the video and watch the video. Please call with any questions. Have a great weekend. Take care. Bye.